Hi, I'm Adamantia. I am the founder of AD.MD Marketing Design, and today I want to take you on a little journey, not just into marketing, but into history. Because to truly understand the world we are living in today, the chaos of content, the trends, the noise, the constant stimulation, we need to look back. We need to remember where we came from. I know that many of you watching this have ideas. Beautiful ideas. You scroll through content every day, you see people creating, posting, talking, and something inside you whispers, I want to do that, I have something to say to you. But you stay in the place of consuming. You absorb, but never explore the possibility of making these ideas happen. And I get it, I was there too. I was a consumer for years, but everything changed when I shifted that narration, when I stopped saying I consume and started saying I create. That shift from consumer to creator is what I want to talk to you about today. Because when you change that narration, you don't just change your habits, you change your entire relationship with the world. Now, I have to tell you, I am Greek, and I truly believe that philosophy, ideas, and creation are in my blood. In ancient Greece, philosophy wasn't just theory, it was a way of living. Philosophers like Socrates and Plato and Aristotle, they didn't just sit and think. They walked through the Agora, the marketplace, and talked. They exchanged ideas, they debated, they challenged each other. And that's the part I find fascinating, because the Agora was more than a marketplace, it was a meeting place of minds. People came there to trade goods, yes, but also to trade ideas. It was the heart of society, a space for connection, communication, and creativity. And when I look at our world today, our online world, I can't help but think this is our modern Agora. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, podcasts, LinkedIn, these are our meeting places. This is where we exchange ideas, tell our stories, and build philosophies and create. But instead of walking through the square and talking with each other, we scroll and we consume, we compare, and somewhere in there we lose our connection to our own voice. So let's be honest, sometimes it's frustrating. You open Instagram and all you see is content. Everyone seems to be doing something, selling something, teaching something, and you start to feel this numbness. You question yourself. Do I even belong here? Does my voice matter? Is there even space for me? And that feeling is normal. In fact, that frustration is a sign that you care. It's a sign that you still have something alive inside you and something that wants to express. Because when you look at the online chaos and feel nothing, that's when you've disconnected yourself from. But when you feel frustration, confusion, longing, that's the spark. That's your creative voice saying to you, hey, I'm still here, don't forget about me. So how do we find our place again in this digital agora? How do we become the philosophers of today's world? It starts with intention, I think. In ancient Greece, people gathered to question life, not to chase trends. They came to share, to explore, to think together. And we can do the same. You can choose to show up online consciously. You can choose to create from your truth instead of from pressure, and you can choose to post content that adds meaning instead of just noise. That's what I call philosophical marketing. Marketing with awareness. Marketing not as a manipulation, but as a communication. Marketing not as a competition, but as a conversation. See, marketing is not about selling, it's about telling. To me at least, it's about storytelling, emotion, and connection. And those are all deeply human things. If you think about it, the best marketeers are modern philosophers. They ask, what do people feel? What do they need? What story are they living? Difference between great marketing and just another campaign is that great marketing understands the human experience. And that's exactly what philosophy was always about. So if you are in marketing, or even if you are a small business owner trying to make sense of this digital world, remember this: your goal isn't to sell the loudest, your goal is to communicate the deepest. Here's the most important part. You will never find your voice by copying others. You will never find your creativity by following every trend. Your voice is already there, it's just buried under layers of comparison, noise, and fear. To uncover it, you have to turn inward. Listen to your body. How does it feel when you create something? What excites you? What drains you? Explore your nervous system, your patterns, your emotions. Understand what's truly yours and what's been passed to you from family, society, education, social media. Because when you separate your true self from the noise, that's when your authenticity shines, and that's what people connect with. When you start creating from alignment, from that deep connected place, you stop chasing trends, you start setting them. You don't post just to post, you post to express. You don't try to please the algorithm, you serve your audience, your truth, your mission. And that's when things start to flow. That's when your content starts to resonate. That's when people say, wow, this feels different. One of the biggest lies the online world tell us is that the market is saturated, that there is no space left. But that's not true. There is space for everyone. Even if you are selling a product or service that 100 others already sell, no one can replicate your way of doing it. Your voice, your energy, your story, that's your unique frequency, and the right people will find it as long as you dare to use it. So if you take one thing from today's talk, let it be this: stop being just a consumer of content, become a creator of meaning. Stop doubting whether you belong and start expressing what already lives inside you. The world doesn't need another trend, it needs you, your ideas, your values, your philosophy, your heart. Because that's what will build a sustainable business, that's what will create loyal communities, and that's what will make you stand out in this modern agora, not because you are louder, but because you are truer. So please go out there, explore your ideas, listen to your body, trust your intuition, and remember, when you create from authenticity, the rest, the strategy, the growth, the success will follow naturally. So thank you for being here with me today. If this talk resonated with you, take a moment not to like or share, but to think, to sit with what we just talked about, and when you're ready, go create something small, something simple, but something true, because that's where it all begins. I'm Adamantia, founder of AD.MD Marketing Design, and I'll see you in the next video where we continue exploring how philosophy, creativity, and marketing meet.